Please be upstanding for a new recording of Things We Like.
And some people Twitter like birds.
Hi, and welcome to the first Things We Like of a brand sparkly new year. A brand sparkly new year. New spanking year?
Ooh,
Hey,
saucy.
2014.
Spanking, yeah.
And we're going to talk about some of the stuff that we like right now.
Right now.
Right now, it's happening. I'm Jim, hello.
I'm Jan, hello.
I'm Alf, hello.
I'm mystery guest, hello.
And does anybody want to go first?
I would like to say that it's good we've reached a new year and mystery guest has finally introduced himself as mystery guest.
Holy yeah. Committed.
It sounded as awkward as I always thought it would.
I know it wasn't enjoyable as I was imagined.
I wonder if he'll sort of become a sort of stig for us, and eventually we'll have to change who mystery guest is.
Oh,
I don't think I carry the mystique or the skill of the stig.
seen yourself. Come on, a pure skill.
Why did you say my name?
We'll bleep that.
Okay. So I think I like, it came around this new year, it's a new like of the year, new series of Sherlock.
Super badass, awesome amazeballs.
There has been some controversy. A lot of people
I'd like
weren't
to
happy.
I'd like to comment on it as somebody who's actually fell asleep during the first episode.
Oh, you haven't seen any of it yet?
Well, not
apart
seen
from the bit
parts that I was
before you fell
conscious
asleep.
for before. I was full of New Year's roast and just fell asleep in front of it. But some of the people I've spoken to said it was a bit overindulgent and they didn't really solve the crime. They potted and they congratulated themselves on being amazing.
Well, I would say that this is true. These things happen, but they do solve a crime. They solve many crimes. And I'd agree it's a slight change of pace from the other series. It was still very good. The writing is impeccable, very much in the style of Conan Doyle.
Yeah.
The actors are all amazing. Boom.
I did think the first episode, I didn't like it, but then I saw 2 and especially 3, and loads of stuff from episode 1 made more sense. All was important.
I always thought number 1 was going to be a bit of a write-off, considering the shocking ending of season 2.
Yes.
They had a kind of a knot to work themselves out of to get back into the swing of things. So, still, I thought it was good.
But I think it's we can say probably at the end of season 2, spoilers, he dies. So a lot of the first episode of season 3 dealt with the aftermath of that. I felt it soaked up a lot of the show.
I'm partially intrigued that they are referred to as seasons and the fact that they are on. This one's only 3 episodes as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did I
Okay.
say season?
I said season.
Fuck.
I'm ashamed.
No,
Series. I know they're an hour and a half long, but sometimes I feel like 3 is too few. And I'd like maybe 5?
6 is
Yeah.
like a pretty standard British number for like a series.
But these
It allows them to have those people that would go off and do other projects as well, to keep them in those roles, which is good. And they are really good. Yes, it always leaves you wanting more, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Wasn't the second one? Again, I've not seen it, but I do know that it involves a best man speech,
yes.
and it's good.
It is. I enjoyed the speech. Again, it was like something Conan Doyle had written, the way he reads the speech. I thought that was very well done in itself. And again, it's a bit higgledy-piggledy and messy getting there, but that last half hour of that episode is as good as it's ever been.
Okay.
Well, Gass's writing, and Moffat, king of the BBC.
King of the BBC.
He has their 2 highest earning exports. He writes Doctor Who and Sherlock Holmes. Well, not that. Their Top Gun is the highest. Top Gun?
Top Gun.
Top Gear is their
He
highest.
writes Top Gun.
Yeah, every day.
Top Gun, the series. Stephen Moffat.
And Tom Cruise.
He would have to have Tom Cruise.
And Val Kilmer.
Yeah, definitely.
Iceman.
How come Top Gun 2 hasn't happened yet then?
Oh,
Because
because
Tony Scott died.
He's very dead, isn't he?
Yeah.
That sucks. He was going to do Nemesis. at one point with the Dans as Nemesis character. It would have been good.
Wow, that would have been good.
Oh yeah, Sherlock came back. It was awesome. But now, because Moffat is like up to his arse in Doctor Who for the next 9 months, there's not going to be any Sherlock possibly till spring next year.
Yeah, they usually seem to hit around the New Year's mark, but we'll see. Unfortunately, the principal cast all got really good careers off the back of this.
Bastards.
So, I know. How dare they become successful actors?
But that's why I say this is why the 3 episodes is good. They will keep coming back. They say they enjoy it, and
Yeah,
I reckon
and
they will keep coming back to do it. So
they have announced we're getting a series 4 for a show.
I'm 5.
I thought they've written 5, but they'll see.
Bloody hell. I found it's getting a little bit incesty though, because they've got Benedict Cumberbatch as Sherlock, and his parents are in it as Sherlock's parents.
Oh, are they Cumberbatch's parents?
Yeah.
they're his actual parents. Yeah.
And
I did not know that.
I love the interplay there with Mycroft as well. When they're smoking and stuff, just the way he's like, "No, I'm not," and Sherlock's like, "It was Mycroft." It's like, yeah, classically like they would have been as kids and everything. It was just really that genuinely superb performances all round. I think.
how about Mary Watson, who is also
Martin
Mrs.
Freeman's wife.
Yeah, Mrs. Freeman though
No, they're not. They're
Yeah.
not married.
in real life.
I thought they were
yes.
just going out. I thought that's why they said the wedding was really weird, because they weren't actually at that kind of point in the relationship
Oh.
yet. So it's kind of weird to have to do a mock wedding. I mean, they're married.
Unless they're married now, because they filmed that an age ago.
Possibly.
It's been impressive the transition of I can't remember his name. I'm ashamed to say, but from League of Gentlemen, who now plays Mycroft,
Gatiss.
he slips into like serious acting quite nicely.
He writes it as well with Moffat. He's
I mean,
brilliant.
I guess League of Gentlemen always had that sort of air of seriousness about it, which sort of like made it more intriguing through all the sort of like the dark black comedy kind of thing.
Stephen Fry or Gatiss there. It's like, that's tough, isn't it?
Fry is an excellent Mycroft.
He's an excellent Mycroft.
In the films starring Mr. Downey Jr. and
I watched
Face.
Game of Shadows again. I watched Game of Shadows again the other day. It's like, I don't know, it's not... It didn't have the wow factor of the first one.
Oh,
Like,
I don't know. There's some pretty spectacular.
there's some
scenes.
spectacular scenes, but it's all done in the same style of the first one, or a play on that style. There wasn't anything necessarily new. On second, I enjoyed it. I'm not slamming it. I'm not saying it's crap. I'm
You
just
mean like
saying
the
I just think there
repeated-
wasn't that.
Yeah, but they brought
you
it
know,
into context
thing
because they sort of
about
like they parodied it in the sense that sort of like they then introduced Moriarty. You can do that anyway as well. So it's sort of like it was him sort of facing off someone who used
Oh,
the
you mean
same
the mental
techniques
stuff?
as exactly. Yeah, so that's I like that kind of thing because it's sort of like, well, you
Yeah,
can do
I
that,
liked
but I
it,
can
but
do
I
that
wasn't
also.
like, that's amazing.
it's not just Sherlocky stuff, like the bit with the slow motion bomb with the awesome zither music. That kind of had a bit of a callback to the run into the woods scene in Game of Shadows.
And some parts like the demonstration of the power, like where Moriarty's having the meeting with
Adler.
with Irene Adler, and just the way he sort of like makes the restaurant clear, and it's all very subtle, but it's also like really cool.
It was awesome.
Mark Gatiss is going to be in Game of Thrones.
As one of the Dornish.
No.
Possibly as Mace Tyrell.
Right.
But we've had no confirmation on who's
Is
playing.
Mace Tyrell?
Loris's dad.
You're supposed to be a bit...
Of a buffoon.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry,
in-
doesn't really play off that well in audio. A bit of a buffoon serves much better as a descriptor.
Not read the books, but the introduction in the little glimpse advert of a bloke with a spear, does that mean like the Martells coming into it as well?
Yeah, that's Oberyn Martell. He's in this one.
And
That's
he looks
gonna be
pretty
really
nifty.
good. He's
nimble.
awesome.
He is.
I really like him. I'm sure you will too.
The Viper. Is that
Red
the
Viper.
Red Viper? He's going to be badass.
It's only a couple months away.
Can't wait.
Anybody else like stuff?
I like yoga and staff spinning. I'm putting both of these together because they're both physical things, and there's a meditative quality to both of them as well. But yeah, they're both ace.
We were talking about this the other day, though, thinking through motion. Like that awesome TED lecture with the guy saying like some people
Sick.
just process through motion.
That awesome TED lecture is Sir Ken Robinson, that you can find it on TED. He's talking about education.
Oh, that one, yeah.
It's just badass, and it's true. Effectively, it's well worth watching anyway. It's just a superb lecture.
There's a particularly good little story
But
about
he
Charles
does-
is a dancer.
Yeah, this is the thing. Is the conclusion of it is that there is a lot of people that do think better on the move. You know, that they sitting still and taking in information and everything isn't the best way for them to assimilate stuff. You know, there's a
Well, certainly not to process it, at least.
yeah, like a physical element helps. So that's what they say. Some people are perhaps born dancers. There's the thing with this person, like, you know, they labelled this little girl as having effectively ADHD or whatever, or ADD, and
But
the realism of it is that, you know, that she needed to move. She needed to move to calm and engage her own brain and stuff. But this is why, like, the staff spinning, I really enjoy.
I believe Pharrell wrote a song about her.
Did he?
Yeah, she has to move.
Oh, right, okay.
yeah. But I think for Pharrell, staff spinning is replaced by having sex with other people's girlfriends.
Pharrell is going to have sex with all of your girlfriends.
That is his plan, and he'll step away, and Robin Thicke will take the blame for it.
Yeah, every straight man and every gay woman beware.
And Robin Thicke will raise an eyebrow, and everyone just assumes he's guilty because he looks that sort.
Yeah. Isn't it fucking weird that Thicke got a really shitty sort of stick in the face and Pharrell got away scot-free?
Pharrell has been singing about that shit for years, though. He's always on about how he's going to steal your girlfriend. He doesn't even want to have a relationship with her, he just wants to fuck her. He's just going to love it. But then you're going to have to deal with that.
Oh, Pharrell, what's your deal?
I did yoga for the first time the other day. Well, yesterday, in fact. And it was good. Stretchy. I must say, it's probably more the meditative and headspace aspect that appeals to me than the physical nature of it.
The meditation appeals to you more than the physical?
Well, I think the whole process is good, but yeah, that's like something that really interests me. The physical stuff's good too, but
in some
like
ways,
the hook.
certainly through like training, like the meditative side, it comes after the physical because it's sort of like, in some ways, you process through, you go through the sort of like aspects of like the meditation through sort of like warm-ups, but then processing through and thinking through the physical as you do your training afterwards, that almost primes you for the meditation after.
Yeah, I think you burn off chemicals and stuff, excess energy and things like that as well. Like, you know, not only that, you warmed your body up, you warmed your breathing up.
You raise
So
your dopamine levels, get
when
your
you-
endorphins going.
When you go to relax from that point into your meditation, it's a better place to start from. But yeah, there's all sorts of, you know, meditation's good for you, and it's different to introspection. Like, you know, you can sit there and think about stuff to get stuff right in your mind, that's fine, but meditation isn't about that. It's more about sending all your thoughts away and emptying your mind and
Being at peace with your surroundings and yourself.
being in your body as well, like, you know,
Mind like
feeling
water.
the whole thing. But it's in the same way, doing exercise for your body trains your body so that in the times when you're not using it, it's in good condition or whatever. That's the same deal for meditation in your mind. You meditate to slow your mind, and that means that in the moments when you're not really thinking, your mind is slower and calmer, whereas normally speaking, you have a pace of life, you get up, you do your stuff, you've got to engage, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, and your brain sort of is going at such a pace. By doing the meditation, when you have those other relaxed moments, your mind is slowed and is calmer, and therefore better able to deal with everything. You know, it's well worth meditating probably once a day, if not.
There's
more.
also like little techniques as well. It's like if you're on a bus ride or somewhere where it's safe to do so, if you close your eyes and actually concentrate on the sounds around you, it's supposed to actually keep your mind more active, more mentally primed. It's like something they recommend for sort of like the elderly as well.
I do that because of that episode of Samurai Jack where he's got the blindfold on.
It's a good example, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's like because you sort of like focus on that one sense and sort of like you create more sort of like an impression of the world around you through it. Because like a lot of people sort of like tend to sort of like rely heavily on one or two senses. You can balance that out more. It's supposed to sort of like make you improve your sort of like your mental processing.
how do you feel about Tai Chi?
I can never remember exactly because I don't go that much into it. But there's the tie-in, like Qigong and Tai Chi go together, and one's energy cultivation and one's energy use.
It's sort of like one's sort of like gathering energy from the environment, and the other's like generating energy and using it from within.
So Yeah, they're cool, man. Like, there's all sorts of stuff as well with Tai Chi. Like, you know, it's got some similarities with yoga and stuff, like the flowing movement and...
It looks fun.
And it's applicable as a martial art as well.
Yeah.
It's because like the way you use the energy in the stances, they are also like applicable as like defensive stances and like ones that can be used in combat. But it's primarily sort of like for good health and meditation.
It creates the muscle memory, though. Like, you know, the forms for Tai Chi and stuff, you kind of... You know, it's... The sweeps of the arms, like, in motion is still the same as the sweeps you would use for a block. Like, you know, it's... You've then generated muscle memory, even though you move slowly. It's a repetition of that slow movement, which then means when you call to do it fast, you're able to. Like.
And there's the also the aspect of using chi, but also sort of like some sort of like looking at pressure points as well. But regardless of the size of the opponent, if you hit them in the right way in the right place, then that'll hurt quite a lot.
There's a move you can do that will make a man poo himself.
Is it called brown sound?
It's called the slip laxatives into the drink move.
There's another one. There's the whammy.
There's in
Hot Rod.
Hot Rod.
That's a beautiful scene as well.
That wouldn't work.
You're a
man. The whammy will work.
You gotta be kidding me.
No, there is supposedly a way to punch somebody in the abdomen somewhere that causes people to
Yeah,
shit
but surely you'd have
themselves.
to be primed to shit yourself. Like, if you
Well,
had
you'd have to
nothing
have,
in your
yeah,
colon,
if you didn't
like-
have anything in there, you're not going to know. But if you did have a little bit of a... Have you ever
No,
seen that
there
one?
is a Tai Chi move that you can do that fills a man's bowel and instantly empties it.
It gives him a good meal, sort of like 3 or 4 hours earlier, and forces him to crap
It
himself.
starts off with a light sort of hug to the stomach to squeeze it all down there, followed by a knock to just below the liver. Yeah.
See, no, right, what you do is, when you're fighting, you drop down to one knee, and it's...
And propose.
It's with the right hand, you slap them on the inside of their right thigh as hard as you can, but at the same time with the left hand, do a downwards raking motion across the lower abdomen, and they should shit themselves.
You should also like a Bavarian dance.
Actually, you know, like you can get dropped. There's like the tendon that runs on the inside of your thigh, all the way up to the groin. If you get hit hard enough in that, it will drop you. Like you could take a harder hit to the nuts and it wouldn't drop you as effectively as being hit in that tendon.
That could also be the femoral artery, though, because like if you take a major blow to an artery, then it's like, because it's also sort of like the subtle musculature, the plasticity, like the vascular system, that can contract.
There's a special chemical for when you get hit in the balls as well, actually.
A special chemical to
there
get
is.
hit in the ball.
Yeah, it's an extra pain chemical, yeah.
Oh no, that's the whole thing, like the whole evolutionary aspect of it. Is you're protecting your potential progeny, so it's like, oh fuck, my ancestors and descendants. It's like a pain beyond
the
pain.
grandkids, not the ancestors.
Well, no, because your ancestors
pain
are
of
going,
the
no, my okay.
Future pain. That's what you're getting there.
Yeah.
Oh.
My genes are punishing me.
I'm going to hit you so hard, your children will be born bruised.
That's Sugar Ray.
I'm actually feeling a slight ache in my balls right now because of this conversation, so I think we should move away. But yeah, so yoga's ace. Recommend it to anyone. Both staff spinning, also ace. I would recommend it to anyone. You start slowly and build from there. Yeah, I find that with the thinking stuff though. Like I do my best introspection while I'm spinning. Like you start and you're thinking about the fact that you're spinning. Then you stop thinking about the fact that you're spinning. You just spin. And you start thinking about other shit. But it means you end up doing badass spinning. You're not even really paying attention to it. You know what I mean? I like catch myself and go, yo, that was a fucking fly little fucking handover. Like I don't know if I was concentrating, I would do that less well.
I think you lose your body free to sort of like experiment with emotions without having to sort of like be weighed down by their thoughts.
I like the way Scouse Dave spins by spinning the staff around, and instead of twisting it, he turns his entire body around to go with the motion of the staff when he changes direction.
Does he turn his whole body around when he spins staff, or is that
Staff?
Yeah, if you imagine like the staff stays like stationary and he just spins round.
Around it.
It's different.
It is different.
I like these recent to new music. I listened to quite a lot of Django recently. There's got a couple of really outstanding tracks like the more recent album Silver Rays and Life is a Beach. But we went to a friend's gig, actually, sort of like live music as well. It's just such a fantastic way to experience it. You get the reverberation of the music. It's more sort of like tangible.
What were the names of the bands we saw?
The two bands in particular were two friends of ours have like formed. Well, one of the bands has been going for quite some time, and the other band's exciting and new. The first band is like a friend of ours, Joe McNulty, has been playing Man in the Dark for quite some time, and they're a great band. They're very sort of like Nick Cave, Flaming Lips, and it was in a pub that we have all sort of like worked in at the past, and sort of
A couple of their tunes sounded a bit sex bomby, and that's awesome because they were all written by Beck.
yeah. And we'll come back to them, but the other band is a band called the Spanish Announce Team, and they all wear luchador masks, and their specialty is doing really well covers of the introductions for various wrestlers from WWF and whatever it became after that. That shows my ignorance.
WWE.
Yeah.
WWF is what WWE used to be called when it was true and real.
It's what it will always be called in my head.
And they were just fantastic, great showmen and really good sort of musicians, but they had great banter in between the pieces as well. It's important in the live tunes.
Whose entrance music did they play?
They played DMX, they played Triple H.
DMX? He's a rapper.
Yeah.
I know
did.
DMX.
They
Can I
did.
say, God. Because some of my mates have been interesting. I've not watched it since like we were kids, so but a lot of my friends did in uni, so I have heard a lot of the stuff. But I'm most like a discussion on football.
The D-Generation.
Yeah,
And
D-Generation X.
X-Pac.
Yeah, because in
Make
everyone's.
some noise!
And what's the one like everyone goes yes, 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 yes.
I can't remember.
We need sort of like Bawley, John or Louis.
He played Hulk Hogan, Ted DiBiase, I believe Undertaker at one point, a little
They
bit.
play Kurt Angle so the audience could shout, "You suck."
No, but they played Chris Benoit.
Oh, really? Controversial.
A little bit.
Very.
They're making a film about Chris Benoit. It's a film about Chris Benoit and how the wrestling industry destroys the minds of the people who work in it.
And Man in the Dark, James.
They were excellent. We got the awesome little CDs off them.
Oh yeah, that was a really nice touch. They like
How little?
well the outside.
So little you couldn't use them in a CD player.
Like Tiddlywinks.
Excellent.
Actually, we'll check it out with Man in the Dark, but it'd probably be good if we could play a little excerpt of one of their songs right about now.
And that was amazing.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
That was really cool.
Yeah, they gave out like CDs and like you've wrapped things, little stickers with their eyeball logo on.
Give them out for free. Still.
That was nice.
It was nice.
It was a really good gig.
Yeah, it was, and kind of like a weird little homecoming, like I say. It's just because like the association of the bar it was in is a place that we've all sort of like experienced it. Anyway,
A quick thing we like, very very quick. I think while we're in this area, what was your favourite gig of last year? No mass details. Just who it was and where it was.
Mine was probably Blood Red Shoes in Liverpool.
I was at that gig with him.
It
was
was
fucking
fucking
impeccable.
great. But Blood Red Shoes were brilliant because as good as they are, considering they're a fucking 2-piece, and they produce the sound of like a 4-piece.
Jim?
Favourite live performance of last year?
That was probably actually a band of a friend of ours. This is all very local. A band called Rathmore. And they played their first gig at the end of last year, and it was tight.
I only went to one musical event last year, but thankfully it was Glastonbury.
So plenty
So-
to choose from. Who's it going to be?
It would have to be Chic and the West Holtz because
Yeah.
it was legendary.
Yeah, that
I was
really
also
was.
there.
That was
That was-
fucking
that-
badass.
Yeah,
That was that one or something else, which is good because that means I can say the or something else. But that Chic, that was such a good fucking performance.
One of the
So
best-
glad I went to go and see
one of the
that.
best things about it was the fact that like it was something that I was completely unexpecting.
Yeah.
And they felt like, oh, we're just gonna go watch Chic. Oh, it'll be a novelty.
It was
and
a-
then they were fucking amazing.
There was other good stuff on that night. Portishead were on, but it was kind of like, yo, it's a Saturday night. We want to party. If we
No,
go
it's
watch
Friday,
Friday,
wasn't it?
night.
Yeah.
Still, it's a Friday night. We want to party. if we go and watch Portishead, well, no one's going to want to party. Before we go and check out Chic, none of us, obviously kind of heard of Chic, knew it was going to be disco-tastic, but didn't really know that much. But the number of fucking hits.
Yeah, when they played like 15 number one hits in a row.
Yeah. It was like coming to Fleetwood Mac and stuff, like you don't know how much shit you'd love by Chic until you hear like a big run of those songs like that.
We Are Family, He's the Greatest Dancer, fucking
what's the one you wrote for
Let's
Bowie?
Dance.
Let's Dance, yeah.
What's the Madonna
Oh
one?
shit!
Like a Virgin.
Like a Virgin. Just so many things. And then at the end as well,
We wouldn't
which
let
no
it
one paid attention. I don't think anyone really noticed when we were there. But watching it back on the videos as well, at the end when they did Get Lucky. And the crowd was singing it to him and he was still on stage fucking loving it, just totally blown away by it all. That's why I thought it was funny at Festival when the thing before the Chic came on, they were like, let's make this the best gig of Chics of all summer, and it's like, well, this is going to be tough. I'm going to enjoy watching this, but I shall be judging. And I think it wasn't as good.
It's not as Rogers.
It was really good, it was still
Yeah.
sick, but it wasn't. It was the sort of going into dusk set, and I think it worked amazingly as the sort of highlight party set of the Friday night. My like has to be Elton John though. That's a lifetime box ticket, and he was really, really good. And this is in a summer where we both saw Rolling Stones, man. It's just fucking a statement and a half, isn't it, really?
It was good, but they didn't quite bring it.
I'd love to be able to say Alabama Shakes was as well, because that was fucking absolutely unbelievably good, but just not perhaps quite not quite as amazing as Chic. Anyway, Jim, what have you liked?
What have I liked?
Yeah, we're at you. I think you're our last liker to like things.
I'm liking.
So start liking.
I'm liking. Look at me. Look at me liking.
Like what?
I'm liking something called Cicada 3301.
What is this?
Cicada 3301.
I'm afraid that's confidential. People can't know about this.
Right, I'm going to actually talk about it. It's something that turned up about... So this is the third year. It turned up 2 years ago on the darknet. If people... the undernet.
Explain the darknet.
There's the undernet. If you use Tor, go and have a look at all the drugs and murders.
Basically, there's the internet that we all use, and it's all nice, and people look at it and everything. And then there's this other place that people don't really look at. A lot of dodgy shit goes on there, and it's a bit more difficult to access without people knowing that you're accessing it, and nefarious shit occurs.
Yeah.
Do continue.
It's principally... What the hell am I? 3301. Yeah, this sort of puzzle appeared like 2 years ago, and it's full of like cryptography shit, ciphers, like references to obscure poetry, astronomy, like just across the board crazy kind of eclectic stuff. And it's shut down without any sort of announcement or anything. Then last year it reappeared, and everybody sort of got to work on it. Loads of people did stuff, and after a couple of months on the site, a thing went up saying we have found the individuals we are looking for, and then just shut down again. And it's recently just reopened, but now it's huge. It's like teams of people working on different bits of like the puzzle. There's like, what do you call them? Like barcode codes. Yeah, the squares.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're called.
Thingy codes. There's shitloads of those posted randomly on lampposts around the world. So this shit's kind of organised. There's all kinds of theories about what it is. It's like that it's recruitment for like CIA or some kind of clandestine shit, that it's some mad wizards, that it's anonymous. No one knows exactly what they're looking for, or if it's just like a big shitload of fun. It could just be something that like 4chan has set up for shits.
Shits and giggles.
Very interesting.
It is interesting. Warrants more research.
Are there any links you can put up for this?
I believe there are, but for some of them you will have to use Tors.
Well, Tors. Didn't somebody recently say about Tors that a load of the information from Tors gets fed back to Langley, Virginia, home of the CIA?
Somebody did a trace back on some IP shit.
Oh, and it goes back there.
Yeah, the whole thing about Tors, it stands for the Onion Router, if you don't know, and it was principally set up to avoid any kind of like surveillance. and it's supposed to like avoid standard routes and shit, and the NSA shouldn't be like looking at it. But it's possible, given the evidence that's just come out, that the NSA might have actually set up Tors, which is great if you're looking for criminals or something. You set up the criminal network, then you know everything they do, or whatever they're after.
It's kind of like that similar thing that's happening with piracy, though, where now it's more economic to actually allow piracy, but then to crop it every now and again so you get all the funds.
Oh god, interesting. But yeah, it's an adventure of some kind, and that's what's important.
It is pretty interesting and therefore incredibly likeable. But
Yeah.
the whole deal of the Darknet, it's cool, but there's a lot of bad shit as well.
I'm mostly
Yeah.
ignorant of it, so it sounds almost like I'm listening to people talk about fantasy novels right now.
I'm in the same boat as you.
Yeah.
I've heard of these things.
Essentially, when you think about it, like, we all have a internet service provider or whatever, and that is our access to the normal internet, like, you know. But then there is this other internet that,
The internet underbelly.
Yes.
yeah, that's not tracked in the same way. There's all sorts of stuff. It's lower tech. It doesn't look the same as the internet as we look at it, because there's, you know, people aren't making it look swanky. It's mostly message board kind of style things, isn't it, where you just read.
Is that original internet they set up in Switzerland, like the original internet? Is that still functioning?
ARPANET,
Was that it?
the military network that became the World Wide Web
Yeah.
eventually. Yeah, ARPANET's still running. In fact, there's like, I think even last year, some people cracked into a computer that was linked to ARPANET that it looks like no one's actually fiddled with for like 30 years. Like, it's just some old army database or something.
Deserves to be fiddled with every now and again.
Exactly. They've no idea where it actually is physically. So, like, it's kind of cool. It's like, you know, like that locked room in France that they just opened. It was like, during World War II, this super rich woman was like, oh, I'm getting the hell out of France, obviously. So she shut up her apartment and moved somewhere to the south of France where everything was crazy. Then after the war, just never moved back. She passed away recently. And they found that there was, like, you know, a flat that she'd been paying for the past 70 odd years almost.
So she wasn't sort of poor then?
Oh no, she wasn't poor, she was like a dowager or something. So they went back to France and opened it up, and no one had been in. It was in an apartment building, just opened it up, and everything's just like dusty as fuck, but exactly as it was left when she moved out in 1943 or 42
Like an
or something.
eerie time capsule.
Yeah, it's full of rad
Pretty
stuff.
cool.
That's cool. I bet they're having a fucking field day over that.
They've auctioned
Cultural
off
heritage.
They've auctioned off loads of stuff that was in it already for a fortune.
Well, at least they can make some money off it then. I thought you were like going to preserve it, but no.
Oh no, loads of it they're preserving. It was like, because she was moving out and she had other properties, whatever, it's like paintings just like stacked in the living room and loads of like antiques and all kinds of
Any
crap.
next of kin?
Well, yeah, that's what they looked at the will, and it was her niece or something that's inherited most of it. Very interesting.
So.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
What time are we on?
We're on 44.
Cool. Well, that's it for the first episode of 2014's Things We Like. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can do thingswelike@hotmail.com. Be prepared for next week's episode, which will be a break from our usual routine. And we're also pleased to announce that we are now available on YouTube at an address to be disclosed shortly.
We'll have a link.
We will have a link. I'm Jan.
I'm Alf.
I'm Mystery Guest.
And I'm Jim. And we just liked all the things. Deal with it. Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.